Welcome back, everybody. This is another behind the scenes of how the studio is going to function overall, not necessarily the individual projects. And what you're looking at right now is the behind the scenes for the intro video for every single video. Or I guess the intro to every video, I should say. And, if you're like me, or at least from the generation that I'm from, you know that you can usually tell in animation studio just off of the intro, right? Before you even see the name. Like when you see a lamp that's hopping across the set, you know it's Pixar. If you see a boy fishing from a crescent moon, you know it's DreamWorks. If you see, I don't know, it doesn't apply to just animation studios either. I mean, studios do this all the time. If you see the planet Earth, you know it's Universal. If you see, a W and a B either on a water tower or with Bugs Bunny on the side eating a carrot, you know it's Warner Brothers, right? So this is my way of kind of creating that and having something of a consistent brand. And who knows, I may do this for the Borealis company, the other company or the other video essay channel that I run, now that I'm thinking about it. But for now, this is just kind of what I'm going to be using at the beginning of every Borealis stories. So I kind of tried to add a little curve in the background just to give it something of some depth to it. But the idea is every intro is just a line of doors that the camera pans across. But if there's a specific project that the video is going to be focused on, it's going to stop at a very, very specific door. And it's not just going to be a white door like all the other ones, it's going to be stylized based off of the style of the project. So I actually just finished a door today that should be coming out a week later from this video, where the door is cel shaded. So all of the doors look white and normal like in this video, except for that cel shaded one. And that's the way to kind of indicate like, oh, okay, this video is going to be about this project. Granted, I'll make playlists and stuff and add all those together, but that's how you kind of get that visual cue. And I love the idea that over time, as this channel grows and as these things develop, it's not just going to be, one door that sticks out. It's going to be all the doors. So there'll be like a hand-painted door and a cel-shaded door and an ink splotch door, and then eventually those things will evolve too. So if it's science fiction, maybe that door becomes a teleporter. If it's, a very specific setting, maybe it becomes, like a Japanese sliding door, or, the sliding doors to a saloon, something like that. But I wanted to show you guys this because I love the idea that when I look back at this, I can say, this is where we started, and now this is where we are, and look at how much growth there's been. And I wanted to show you the behind the scenes of this so you can kind of get that journey with me. You get to be a part of that journey with me. Now, if you're paying attention to the screen right now, you'll know that I tried adding a text to the door that kind of told you just blatantly what the project is. Obviously, it's Project 78. But for some reason, I couldn't figure out how to parent the text to the door and have it animate with the driver. So what the driver is, for those who don't know animation jargon, at least Blender jargon, I don't know how it is for other apps like Maya, but a driver is an object that influences the movement of another object. So that clear, empty little cube in the center, at the bottom center of the door, which is just called an empty, it's an empty object, that is the driver for the door and the doorknob. So whenever it moves in a certain way, the doorknob and the door will move accordingly. So that's what you're looking at right now. And obviously I got rid of the text. I just felt like it didn't work. And plus I feel like the style should be able to speak for itself. You know, when you see that door, you should already know that it's Project whatever. And keep in mind too, this is the first time I had ever texture painted in Blender, so there's a lot of trial and error. Basically, this whole thing is trial and error. Before this, I had done a little bit of a layout, a little bit of scene composition, mainly sculpting and retopology. Those were mainly the two things that I had done. I tried rigging. I discovered that I hate weight painting, which I guess the rest of the Blender community does, so I don't feel as bad. But yeah, this is me doing a lot of things for the very first time. And I'm not gonna lie, I was actually really, really empowered after this of like, holy shit, I just did this. And if I can do this, what else can I do? You know, so it was a really good motivator. But as you can see, kind of with what I'm doing right now, what I wanted to do was make a black plane, which I did later, of how, or like a black plane that, you know, you zoom into to be absorbed into the world. And then in the back, you get this mountainscape. Now, there's going to be 3 different variations of this mountainscape, and you guys get to decide which ones you want to see. But the original idea was you see this mountainscape in the background, and it's underlit. It looks like there's some studio lights, like it's almost under construction. But then over time, not only is it going to be more and more lit, but you'll actually get to see characters interact with each other. So you'll see a character from one project, you know, flying over the mountainscape, and then another character from another project in the mountainscape, and then you zoom into the door. So that was the idea behind that, but there are a few different variations of it. This is the first variation. One of the variations, I tried to give it a realistic texture, and a little bit more light, and then the other one was a pure accident, because I had tried to make a normal map, but something went wrong, so it was just the normal map, so it had this purple and blue hue to it. And based off of the guy that I asked his opinion on, he actually loved the purple and blue one the most. So it was a happy accident, I guess. But yeah, this one is kind of what we're looking at right now. And obviously, Project 78 is one of the projects that you're going to be seeing in the very near future. So these are the variations, and let me know which ones you like in the comments, and stay tuned for future projects. I'm really excited. This was a great way to get the ball rolling. So, yeah, in the meantime, I will see you next time.